Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Unfog with Dr. Atahar Parveen. We are going to solve the Gpstr 2019 question paper. So let us start the class. Before that, please subscribe to our channel if you have not subscribed. And also if you are liking our work, please like and share among other aspirants and your friends, because we will be making future classes only if we get good response. So let us see the first question. So the question is from science part, that is physics. It is a question from weight concept. The question is, two bodies of equal weight are kept at heights of h and 1.5 h. So there is one body and there is another body which is kept at a height of h and another one is kept at height 1.5 h. The ratio of their potential energy is. Now, we should be knowing the simple formula of potential energy, which is mgh. We have to find out the ratio, right? Now, both the bodies are having same weight. That means that mass will be same, and of course acceleration due to gravity also will be same for both the objects, right? Now, we have only difference in the height. We have to take the ratio for both, that is mgh is to mgh. If this thing is h1 and this is h2, then we can write it like this. What is h1? It is h. What is h2? It is 1.5. Because rest of the things are same, we can cancel it, right? 1.5 times h. So we have 1 is to 1.5. But this is not there in the options. We have to remove the decimal point. If we remove the decimal point, we will get 2 is to 3. So option 2 will be the correct answer here. What did we do? We did 1 by 1.5. I can write it as 1 into 10 by 15. 5 2s are 5 3s are. So I got 2 by 3, which is same as 2 is to 3. Okay, clear, right? Next question. A graph is plotted taking degrees Celsius along the y-axis and degrees Fahrenheit along the x-axis. So there is a graph with x-axis and y-axis, degrees Celsius with x-axis and degrees Fahrenheit with y-axis. So the graph which is plotted along the y-axis and x-axis, whether it is a parabola, straight line, ellipse or a circle. So in order to identify this graph, we should be knowing the relationship between the Celsius and Fahrenheit. So degrees Celsius is equal to 5 by 9 into degree Fahrenheit minus 32. Unless and until you know this relation, you cannot directly decide on the type of the graph, right? So this is actually in the form of y is equal to mx plus c, which is the equation of a straight line, right? What is m here? M will be equal to 5 by 9. This is your constant. And what is the c? It is the intercept, right? So this thing is the intercept, right? So here we have a minus 32 into 5 by 9, because that will be our intercept. That is how we calculate, right? So option 2 will be the correct answer here, because the relation is in the form of y is equal to mx plus c. Okay. Next, question number 3. If the mass of a pendulum is doubled, then the time period is. So this is a pendulum, initial pendulum. Then the mass is doubled 2 times. It was m, then it became 2m. Whether the time period becomes double, it becomes half, it remains the same, or it becomes 4 times. See, for this you should be knowing the formula for time period of a pendulum, which is equal to 2 pi into square root of L upon G. L is the length of the pendulum. G is acceleration due to gravity. Now clearly in the formula wherein the time period and the other things are related, we do not have mass here. So even though the pendulum mass is doubled, the length is not varied. It is same. In that case, the time period should remain same, because it does not depend upon the time period, right? So time period is not at all depending upon the mass of the pendulum. So option 3 will be the correct answer here. Next, question number 4. The SI unit of power of a lens is, so the power of a lens, SI unit is diopter. It is a very simple thing. We believe that all our paid class aspirants will be knowing all these simple things which we have been solving till now. Okay. Next question. The unit of specific resistance is, so here you should be knowing the difference between the resistance and the specific resistance. Resistance is the one where we talk about Ohm's law. The unit is ohm. Whereas for resistivity or specific resistance, the symbol is rho and the unit for this is ohm meter. How do we derive it? See, actually resistivity is dependent upon resistance, area of the cross section of the conductor and length of the conductor. So here I have ohm for resistance, for area I have meter square, for length I have meter. This meter will get cancelled and the unit for resistivity will become ohm meter. So option 4 will be the correct answer here. Okay, clear, right? Next question. The ratio of mass of the Jupiter to the Earth is. Now this becomes a little tough question because we will have to remember the masses of the planets for this type of question, right? So here the mass of the Earth, this though is familiar, we know that it is 5.97 into 10 to the 24 kg. Mass of the Jupiter is 1.9 into 10 to the 27 kg. If you take the ratio, your answer will be 318:1. Right. So option 2 will be the correct answer here. Next, question number 7. The unit of relative density is, so this we have been discussing since long time in many of our classes. So the relative density is the ratio of two densities. So that's why we call it as relative density, right? So when you take the ratio of one density to another density, then whatever the units will be there, it will be same in numerator and denominator, right? So they will get cancelled, right? So even if you don't know the unit of density, then also those two units will get cancelled and your relative density will not have any unit. So remember, there is no unit for relative density. Next, question number 8. A cyclist moving on a circular track of radius 20 meter completes half a revolution in 20 seconds. Then the average velocity is, see actually, the average velocity is equal to displacement upon time, right? So there is a cyclist who is moving on a circular track and the radius of this circular track is 20 meter. The cyclist completes half of the revolution in 20 seconds, means till half, till here the cyclist took time 20 seconds. So initially the cyclist was here, after 20 seconds the cyclist is here. We have to find the average velocity. So for half revolution, you have to see the displacement, right? So what is the distance travelled by the cyclist? This is the distance travelled by the cyclist, right? If the circumference is 2 pi r, then the cyclist travelled 2 pi r by 2. So he travelled pi r distance. But what about the displacement? Displacement is the shortest distance, right? So from A to B, what is the distance? That will be our displacement. Now this displacement is nothing but the radius of the circle, right? So radius of the circle is given as a 20 meter. So diameter will become 40 meter and that diameter is our displacement, right? Now once I have the value of displacement and time, I can easily calculate the average velocity, right? Displacement just now I have calculated is 40 meter and time they have given is 20 seconds. So 40 by 20 is equal to 2 meter per second. That is our average velocity. If they were asking us to find out the speed, average speed instead of velocity, if they were asking us to find the average speed, at that time what we had to do, we had to take distance, not displacement. We would take distance upon time. And what is the distance? The circumference of the circle is 2 pi r. So for half circle, the circumference will be pi r. This will be our distance and time will be 20 seconds. So pi into 20 by 20. So this thing was average speed would be pi meter per second. Okay, you get my point, right? So here they have asked average velocity and we got the answer as 2 meter per second. So option 3 will be the correct answer here. Next, question number 9. When g is 10 meter per second square, the force of gravity acting on a mass of 1 kg is. So here acceleration due to gravity is actually 9.8 meter per second square. In the question they have asked us to take as 10 meter per second square. And they are giving mass of that body which is 1 kg and they are asking us to find out the force. Clearly we have force is equal to mass into acceleration due to gravity, right? Mass they have given is 1 kg and this thing is 10 they are telling, so our force will be 10 Newton. Option 2 will be the correct answer. You have to solve these type of problems without seeing options, or else if you see the options, no, you will get confused. First calculate, then match with the given option. Okay.